we got people who are watching on a coach. Gateshead to Birmingham, Gillian. No, Rachel, viewing from coach to Birmingham. Amazing. That's technology for you, isn't it? Literally blows my mind that this is even possible. Do you know it's Periscope? Those who are watching on Periscope tonight, because I'm like broadcasting live to multiple platforms. We're going out on Facebook, we're going out on Twitter, we're going out on Periscope as well. It's Periscope's 3rd birthday today. I started doing like Periscope broadcasts. It had only been out a couple of weeks. I can't believe. I mean, this is episode 257 or something like that on a weekly basis. We're smashing it, guys. We've been doing 3 years of this now, so I do appreciate people for sticking around. There's some people here who are probably on one of the first broadcasts as well, which is amazing. Those who are listening on the audio experience, because this will go out as an audio experience on iTunes tomorrow, so you'll be watching it. You'll be listening to it on the replay. I must have been doing the audio experience a couple of years, so some of you guys will have been with me a long time. So just appreciate you. Tony's here from Chicago. All right, Tony, good to hear from you, man. And Alex said he took my advice by being brave and taking the leap. Alex has a big leap, man. Alex has got to do Camp America. But Alex, man, what's so great is you're so young. Like, you could fall asleep, like I said, for 15 years, wake up and probably be like younger than me. Well, you could, of course, you could, because I would continue to age as well. But my point is, spend this time in your youth doing stuff like that, mate. It's what it's all about. Laurie says, nice t-shirt, love yellow and grey. This is a Gary V t-shirt. You probably can't see it. If I can't kind of position myself, you can't see it. It says Crushing It. It's Gary V's new book that we're doing on the book club for a couple of weeks. Thought, been there, done that, got the t-shirt now. Awesome. So tonight, right, what we're talking about is I've had a few emails from people recently. I just want to give you loads of value tonight. We're back to doing a bit of a presentation with some slides and stuff. I want to give you massive value because I've had a lot of emails from people who are like, look, I know what I've got to do in life in terms of I have the information, but actually I don't know how to make taking the action part of achieving the thing I want easier. So it's a bit like going, you know what, I've got a book on how to run a marathon. I know the theory of running a marathon, right? But actually, you know what, the information is no good to you unless the trainers are on your feet and you're out on the streets and you're actually, pounding the streets running. Same in the gym. You can, everyone knows. This is the thing with like the most common kind of examples of this are probably in fitness. Everybody knows in the world, basically, what two things equal the physique that most people want. We all want to be in good shape for our health, not just for aesthetics, but, to live longer, feel better, perform, look, and be at our best. And ultimately, it's a good diet and it's exercise. Now, we all know that, right? We've got the knowledge, but actually, I can read a book on how to do sit-ups. It's pointless. It's not going to change my body, it's not going to change my body composition. I've got to go and put that into practice, and that's kind of like the downfall of a lot of people. We know what we should be doing, but doing it is difficult. Anybody else feel like this right now in any part of their life? Could be their acting career, could be their physicality, could be any part of their life at all. Indeed, anything new and exciting happening with you, says Corey. Oh, Corey's having a little conversation here. Sorry, Corey. I thought you were referring to me. Amy Allen's joined on Facebook as well. But yeah, anybody feel that right now? They're like, right, you know what? I know I should be doing more than I already am, but I'm struggling to kind of make the action part of doing it easier, because that's what we're going to look at tonight. We're going to look at 4 ways, basically, to make this easier, and these are 4 things that I've done in my life over the last couple of years that have just really helped me. Oh my God, my whole life, says Lowry. Lowry, I'm still calling you Lowry. Wendy says, yeah, that's me with dating, says Tony. Oh, amazing, Tony. So, okay, that's interesting, because there could be other things getting in the way than just the motivation to do it there. There's all kinds of fear around dating, isn't there? I feel it too, my man. Feel it too. Us single guys, it's difficult, isn't it? And Laurie says, yeah, her whole life. So, let me bring some slides up for you, and we're going to have a little look tonight at what we can do about it, because this is a pain that everybody feels if they're human-based. This is 4 ways to ensure you are taking more action today as well. These are things that are pretty simple to implement. Amy says, yeah, for sure. I've been speaking a lot about doing things, but not taking enough action recently. Bobby says hello all the way from Ireland. All right, Bobby, hope you're well, mate. Bobby's took the steps this week to begin setting up an online business. I think that's a good leap as well, Bobby. Well done for that. So, right, let's have a little look. Before we do, give this a little share if you wouldn't mind. I've not asked for that for ages, actually. Yeah, if you're on Twitter, give it a retweet. Let me give you a shout out now. I'll see if you retweet it. It'll tell me. If you're on Facebook, share it out to your people. although, you know, loads of us on here are actors, it actually kind of resonates just with everybody, this, to be honest. This is just life. Everything we do is, to be honest, isn't it? Every single one of these broadcasts I do, I might as well just not do a site on acting anymore, because it's all about just the human condition, basically, isn't it? But thank you to everybody who's sharing that. So knowing what you need to do, right, and taking action on it are two entirely different things, all right? And I've had 2 emails this week, and there's people asking me, and you might have seen on my vlog recently, a guy called Boris Luckman asked me this question as well. Shout out to you, Boris, in the community if you're watching. And thank you for sharing, Lowry. He said, listen, man, like, how do you manage to cram? It appears to him that I managed to cram a lot of things into my life. So I have my acting career, my voiceover career. I've got a couple of online businesses, so I run actsonthis.tv. I've got a clothing label that I'm just in the middle of launching. I do a weekly vlog. I do a podcast on iTunes. We do this live broadcast. Thank you, Gillian, for sharing. Appreciate you. And it appears that, you know, you're going, all right, Ross does loads of stuff. Trust me, I'm absolutely, nothing extraordinary, right? I'm not saying that to be all, humble and shit like that. Genuinely, there is nothing extraordinary about me at all, right? I just simply know how to prime myself, ultimately, to take action. And I can't even take credit for that, because I've been taught these things over the years, but I'm just going to share them with you, the 4 things that I seem to have kind of the best results with, okay? So you might have, loads of stuff in your life as well, and you might be the person who people are coming to going, wow, how do you fit all this in? But you're like, actually, you know what? I wish I could swap some of this stuff out for more interesting stuff. I'm going to look at that tonight as well. So I'm going to share 4 very simple ways to develop an action bias, we're going to call it, right? And this is going to make you ultimately biased towards taking action. It's going to make taking action easier for you in your life, like this week. And I mean, literally from tonight. And you lot in America. Justine, all right, Justine McCain's in the house. Great to see you here. Tony, and if I don't know if we've got Rich Haler from Miami in the house or anything like that, but look at that, Speak of the Devil, and he's just popped up on Facebook. So that's law of attraction for you there, Rich. I literally just sent a message out to you there, mate, somehow, and you're here now. That's ridiculous. So yeah, you lot can actually implement this stuff in your day to day, because for us lot it's night in the UK. You guys can go and actually do this stuff. Number 1, right? The number 1. It sounds the most simplest, basic. You're gonna go, Ross, this is stupid. Of course I know I should be doing this, but the number 1 way to get more done in your life is to reduce distractions. And this, again, is something that we all know. We all know we should be doing this. But how many people are doing this, right? Not many. Not many that I see or I speak to. It's the first thing I sort of take people through when they're like, I don't feel I'm getting enough done, okay? One of the biggest reasons that people cite for not taking action is being overwhelmed by the sheer number of things going on in their lives. Justine's on the train, so she could be losing signal, but she'll keep tuning in. Keep with us, Justine. So just last week, right, I'd hit this limit in my life. If you watch my weekly vlog that I do, youtube.com/watchross, you'll have seen me at the very start of last week's vlog do a bit of an intimate piece of camera, me on my own, going, listen, guys, I feel I've finally hit my breaking point when it comes to my output. And that's because I was doing multiple projects every single day of the week, bar none. I mean, literally no weekends off. You know, if you had Saturday off last weekend, you had more Saturdays off than I've had in the last 2 years, basically. I just hit enough, right? Now, what I did is I went, right, I just need to drop one activity from my life. And I looked at every little thing that I was doing. And I was like, you know what? The one thing that I could do that is non-essential, that I could drop in order to give myself more time, but also offer more to other people, was a Wednesday night broadcast. So we normally do these live broadcasts on a Monday and a Wednesday night. It's been like that for 2 years. But I noticed that by doing a Wednesday night broadcast, I not only had to prep, because it was a book club, I had to read a book for the Wednesday. I not only had to do that and then actually do the broadcast, I was then uploading the replay on the Thursday, like I will do with this one tomorrow. I was turning it into a podcast on the Thursday. It was taking roughly, for that one task, nearly 3/4 of a day in total. So by dropping what seems as a tiny thing, you lot just saw it as an hour-long broadcast, that was it. Actually, by dropping that 1 hour long broadcast, I actually freed up almost 3/4 of a day. And my productivity over the last week just soared. I ended up doing 2 vlog episodes last week, so we didn't have to film this week. I've got an interview coming up for actonthis.tv tomorrow that I'm doing, so I can bring you guys more acting guests. I've got Rachel Shenton coming on, who won the Oscar. She's going to bring her Oscar to Media City tomorrow. I'm going to do a broadcast on that, and that's going to go up on the site. Ultimately, I can just bring you loads more stuff by dropping that seemingly tiny, tiny little thing. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what's the one non-essential thing that you could drop from your life right now? And you will have it. If you're a stubborn git like me, you'll want to be clinging onto these things like crazy. You'll be like, I need to keep that, I need to keep that. What if one of these things comes off? And actually, you know what? If you've been doing the same thing over and over again for long enough and you're expecting a different result, we all know we're mental. So there's going to be one thing in your life that you can drop that's non-essential. Sam says last week's was the best vlog yet, although I haven't watched today's. Oh, watch today's vlog. It's a good one, Sam, as well. And Alexandra says, my job, question mark. If it's non-essential, you could drop it, Alexandra, but maybe you would need to replace it with something else. But yeah, there will be little things that you do in your life. You know what? Maybe for you lot, you might be like, I've sat and I've binged out every weekend, you know, for 3 hours on a Saturday night on TV or box sets of Game of Thrones or whatever series you're going through. And actually, you know what? If I just took an hour and a half out of that time every week, you know, then there's 6 hours a month that I could put into, you know, something else. Just tuned in, Myra says, all right, Myra, hope you're good. So have a look at that in your life. For me, it was that seemingly tiny thing. I went, how can one little broadcast, you know, make such an impact in my life? But it has a huge, huge difference. I can't tell you the weight off my shoulders I feel going into the week, knowing that once I've uploaded this tomorrow and I've turned it into a podcast tomorrow, that I can then spend the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday editing my vlog, editing the podcast that I record with Rachel, and I'll have it all done by the weekend. Whereas normally, you know, editing the vlog, I'll have it done at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I'm back filming again on a Monday morning. That can feel super overwhelming. And then on an everyday level, let's just break it down even simpler. Just consider, and I get people in my Bulletproof Actor group to do this with news. I tell them to just literally remove news from their life. But you can do this with things like phone notifications as well, right? Just consider turning off all mobile phone notifications except for those that you absolutely cannot live without, all right? I mean, don't expect you to turn off notifications for, like, you know, your alarms and your calendar, etc. But, you know, if you've got nonsense ones, like, you know, if you've got Tinder, you know, Tony, you'll feel my pain, man, right? As single guys. If you've got notifications popping up when you're supposed to be doing work and he goes, oh, you've got a match. I'm like, oh, okay, right, let's check this out then. Who are we matching with today? Nobody of any quality, by the way, just to put that out there. But yeah, you don't want these phone distractions popping up on your phone. You know, turn the sound off as well, so you don't have like that Facebook bing, 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 all that sort of stuff popping up. And ultimately, just, you know, learn to live within your means energy-wise, and just conserve energy for what actually matters most to you. Wendy said, I never read that or watch the news. It's depressing. Well, that's the main reason I tell people to avoid it, Wendy. But also because people waste a shitload of time reading news they don't even need to know about. I mean, it's like absolutely, it really is pointless. Not only you served 17 negative news articles for every one positive one, it just takes you a long time to scroll through headlines and read BBC News and Sky News, etc. Unless you're in the news, I won't worry about it, to be honest. And hopefully there'll be a point where we're all in the news for the right reasons. Alex says he doesn't even get that. What are you talking about, Tinder? Alex, man, don't worry about it. Just swipe right on everything, Alex. It'll be fine. So that's number one, okay? Get rid of distractions. Does that make sense to people? I know some of these still sound super basic to you. You're like, Ross, why are you even telling us this? It's because the little things that are easy to do are also very easy not to do. And it's not the big decisions you make in your life that have the biggest impact, guys. I promise you. It's the compound effect of all the tiny, tiny, tiny decisions that you make in your life. And it might not seem a big thing turning your notifications off on your phone, but if you do it for a week and you win back 3, 4, 5 hours in that week, you can make some massive, massive progress. Half of American news is just gossip. Yeah, it is, Tony. Absolutely. I bet you have all the well, it's all political for you guys, isn't it? I'm sure. Anytime I've been in the States, it's all just been basically whatever's going on with the president, really. And I'm sure with the very colourful president you've got in the States right now, things haven't changed. So that's point number one. Right, point number two. This is really interesting. I think this is going to be our next book for the book club, guys, because we're going to start looking at this next week. Count down from 5. Now, this isn't about countdown and breathing, when you're getting angry or anything like that. It's something completely different, okay? If you get stuck and you start overthinking anything at all, okay, you are less likely to make a move and act, okay? Now, I've just started looking at an incredible book. I've never looked at it before, but it's called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And I'd recommend it for anybody. I'm definitely going to be reading the whole thing. Probably going to get the audiobook, actually. And we're going to do this for the book club, I think. It's just a really great way to force you into taking action. Richard said the news in the States isn't news, it's just opinion. I think that's the case across the board, Rich. So this book, Mel Robbins, right, in the book, she describes a moment in her life where everything seemed to be falling apart. And I'm sure we've all had bloody moments in our lives. Who was here at a moment in their life? I have. I'm just interested. Who's had a moment in life where it seems like everything's fallen apart? Just want to see, maybe there's some very, very, privileged people here who haven't been through this yet. And you've got it to look forward to, guys. It'll happen to you at some stage in your life. But, trust me, it will be a gift. You will get so many gifts from moments like this than any other time in your life. I promise you. Dawn says me. Definitely. Lowry says me. Yeah, says Rich. Me every 6 months, says Bobby. Alex says yeah. Honestly, these are the moments where we grow, though, guys. You've got to embrace these and, you've got to almost, fall in love with this. It's easy to be optimistic and happy and stuff when everything's going well. When life seems to be falling apart, that's when, you're about to learn something, trust me. So she was 41, Mel, right? She was drinking too much. Her work-life balance was, non-existent, and her marriage was falling apart. Gillian says she's there, been in my dressing gown all day. Well, Gillian, we're going to get you out of that, right? You thought you were on a coach on Gateshead. I hope you're not in your dressing gown now. But things were not going well for Mel, okay? And she knew something had to change. And she was sitting up late one night, and she was watching TV, and she happened to see a clip of a rocket preparing for blast-off with the famed, you've all heard it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast-off, sounded in the background. I thought I'd perform for you there. And with that, right, she decided, crazy, just on the spot, to implement the practice of counting down from 5 every time she needed to take action on something but felt that she couldn't, okay? And these are 2 quotes out of the book. She says, if you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. So if you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. I've experienced that. I really, really have. Definitely. Oh, it wasn't you on the coach, Gillian. Sorry, it was Rachel on the coach. Apologies. So if you do not take action on your instinct to change, ultimately, you will stay stagnant and you will not change. And I thought this was a really incredible way to look at it, because so many times he's been sat in a comfy chair. I've got a comfy chair in my front room, and I've been sat there and I've thought, oh, that would be good, or oh, that would be great. And then it's almost been this urge to move physically, to sit up and go, oh, I want to go and do that or something. And then if you don't, it's so much easier to go, and just sit back on it. And then you don't take action on that thing, and you only need to take a tiny amount of action initially to begin the process and start that that momentum going. So for instance, if you have a business idea or a book idea, you can have a book idea or a script idea if you're an actor or a screenwriter or something, and you go, right, okay, all I'm going to do is open my notes up on my phone within 5 seconds of having this idea, write the title of whatever it is down, open a folder on my computer and set within it a blank document with the title of this thing, whatever it is, but take action straight away. If you see someone in the street, you're like, oh my God, I'm so attracted to that person, I'm having no luck on Tinder, Alex, and they might be single, I'm just going to, within 5 seconds, just go, oh, hi, by the way, I'm Alex. My name's not Alex, obviously, so you would have to do that, Alex. 5 seconds. I think it would be interesting. Who's up for implementing this in their life this week? And we'll just have a chat next Monday of any funny incidents where we've implemented the 5 second rule, and we'll see what's happened. Maybe that would result in a slap in the face, Alex. Who knows, mate? But you'll never know, will you? You go to Camp America anyway, you can always run away. But yeah, when you get that impulse to do something, whole reason actonthis.tv is called Act on This was literally I'm giving people information to act on. I just think it's everything. It really is. You've got to act on the instinct that you feel the minute you do. Dawn says, yes, yes, yes. Dawn, I would love it. Honestly, let's do this. Let's do that. And it might be, you know what? Oh, I could get in touch with that person. And then I want you to look them up on LinkedIn and send them a message within well, not the whole message within 5 seconds, but look them up within 5 seconds. Send an email within 5 seconds. Dial the phone. Speak to that person who you've just popped into your head. And you're like, oh, I've not spoken to those in ages. See how they're doing. Maybe it's an industry contact. Maybe it's just a friend. Just do it. You don't know where it could end up. And Alex says he always gets slaps. My luck is that they will have a boyfriend. Well, Alex, mate, got to keep trying, dude. You got to keep trying. You're super young. Don't just try with any girl. Obviously, you got to think there's something in it. Alex says the guy giving out the relationship advice who's been single for years. But I do think this is a great thing to implement. It says do it definitely. So that's a 5 second rule. That's point number 2, right? That's something I'm definitely going to be implementing. Okay. Point number 2, count down from 5, basically. Just do it as a game. You've got 5 seconds. And don't do that thing where you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a half, quarter, eighth. Don't do that one. We see that at school. Just do it. 5 to 1. Boom. Take action. 3, this is a really simple thing to do as well, but I don't see a lot of people doing it. And I fall guilty of this sometimes as well, And that's making decisions too big. Like I said before, it's not really the big decisions in our lives that actually change our lives like we think they would. It's the tiny decisions that you're making in your life. It's called the slight edge principle. So ultimately, what you decide to have for your dinner today, will dictate not today your body composition or your health, but if you have something unhealthy today, which is a tiny, tiny, small decision. If you do that every single day for 3 months, that's definitely going to add up to a big thing. So let's be careful of the small decisions we make. And if we've got something in front of us that's massive, let's break it down into small decisions so we can manage it better. So most self-help books, right? And what I'm saying now might go against most self-help books, but I've read about 200 of them. I think I'm qualified. Most self-help books talk about developing a grand master plan and some overarching vision which will guide you and drive you forward. And that's brilliant. Everyone should have that. Sure, right? Having a unifying mission and a vision can be a great way of helping you define your far-off goals, right? Things that you want in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. Okay? But when you're thinking that big, it can also be overwhelming when actually at the same time you're just trying to get through your everyday life. You try to do the normal things. You try to think, oh, I really want a BAFTA. Oh, but I've got to wash these socks and underpants. And it all just seems massively overwhelming, all right? So if you have a high-level goal or vision that you're attacking right now, that's absolutely great. But just don't forget the importance of taking action every day on smaller things to keep you in the zone to focus on those bigger things. So what I mean by that is make it a goal to do something that is beneficial to 3 areas of your life every day. Small things, right? So first of all, your mind. And to benefit your mind, you could read a book, you could talk to a mentor. Podcasts are massive for me. I benefit my mind every morning on the way back from the gym. From about 8:30 till 9 a.m. in the morning, I walk home from the gym and I listen to a podcast. And it's a personal development podcast or a business podcast. It's just going to get me going and really, really inspire me, benefit my mind. Then we want to look at doing one small thing a day that benefits your body. So for me, that's going to do a workout in the morning every day. For you, that could be going for a run, could be a 30-minute walk. Doesn't even have to be a 30-minute walk, 15-minute brisk walk. Actually, you know what? A 19-minute brisk walk in nature, if you've got a field near you, or a little forest, or even just a rural path, if you can get out in some greenery for 19 minutes, it's been proven scientifically to have a massive uplift of your state of being. You just feel happier when you're out amongst a bit of nature. You need to do for 19 minutes minimum though, but that's that can have a big impact on you. Tony says, dude, podcasts and audiobooks have been a game changer for my mindset. They're so great because when you're listening to someone, and those who are listening to this right now on the audio experience, huge shout out to you because you're probably doing something else whilst listening to this, so you're double downing on it. Did that today, says Wendy. Went to the park, and I bet you felt great for it, didn't you, Wendy? It's like, Oh, I can breathe. I purposely walk on the fields to the gym in the morning that are still only 15 yards away from the road, but the difference me walking on the field makes to me walking that 15 yards away from the pavement, like, it's massive. It's massive because I don't need to look at the road. I can turn my head to the right and all I see is fields. If I look to the left, I see a road and loads of cars. But just walking, that little bit on the grass, effectively, really helps me. So that's what you want to do. And then you want to feed your soul. And feeding your soul, meditate. I don't get on with meditation, to be honest with you. It's not ever really worked out massive for me, but there are great apps. I used Headspace, which is a great app for your phone, where you can do like 2-3 minute meditations. They work better for me. But some people, love meditation. That's why I've included it there. Go to a museum. For instance, I watched a great documentary of a night on Tutankhamun and Nefertiti. Blew my mind. I was like, wow, I'd love to go to a museum and actually see this stuff for real. Or you know what, just feed your soul. See an old friend, like I said before. Get on the phone, FaceTime someone you're not seen in a while. And if you just do these little things, right, we're not looking at the big tasks every day. Just do one thing that's going to feed your mind for 20 minutes. Feed your body for 30 minutes or whatever. Feed your soul for 20 minutes. It's going to take you like an hour. Just 1 hour out of your day. And it's just going to keep you from feeling overwhelmed. You're still going to feel like you're making progress. You're still going to feel in touch with the world, in touch with people around you. And that massive thing you're aiming for is not just going to crush you. So the long-term goals are important, but ultimately they won't matter to you unless you manage to make the right, smaller decisions on a daily basis. That's what that's about. Amy says, I was thinking loads about asking for feedback from an audition, then did it today, and the director replied within less than an hour. If I'd done it when I was first thinking about it, it would have saved a lot of worry. Boom, there's that 5-second rule, Amy. When you thought about it, yeah, should have done it. Oosh. Done. And then, you wouldn't have spent days thinking, oh, should I do it, shouldn't I do it? Ultimately, when you take action on something, what you're doing is taking control. You are in control then. You're not thinking about it and thinking, oh, that other person's got the control, or I've got to wait for permission from them. They've got the control. You've got the control. Give yourself permission. I love walking in nature, says Lowry. Absolutely. And Bobby's mum uses Headspace as well. Yeah, it's a great app. Honestly, it's really good. I think meditation is incredible for people. People tell me it is. I'm probably just a bit don't know, mind's a bit busy, and I know that's the whole point of it, isn't it, to kind of clear your mind. But that's why I run. I do a half marathon every Sunday. That clears my mind because I exhaust myself to the point where I can't think. All right, Gary Thomas, good evening. Good to see you on Facebook. So that's point number 3. Point number 4, I've mentioned this before, okay? Walking the path of least resistance. Walking the path of least resistance. This is really going to help you get shit done. Just get more done. Let me explain what I mean by this. So most people make taking action much harder by not walking the path of least resistance, right? So here's a few examples of what this means. If your aim is to go to the gym upon waking, then why are you not prepping your gym gear the night before? So my aim, all right, Sharon, good to see you. My aim is to go to the gym every single morning at 6:45, okay? And, well, about 6:30, 6:45, get to the gym for 7 o'clock. And to make this easy, like a really it's still not easy, because it still hurts a bit, but, to make it so much easier, what I will do, like when I finish this broadcast tonight, is I'll make sure in my room I've got my gym gear completely ready. So my trainers will be set out with my socks, my gym pants will be set out with my front door key in them, with my headphones in the left-hand pocket, with my vitamins in the right-hand pocket, with my gym card in the right-hand pocket, my gym gloves in the right-hand pocket, my coat and everything will be out downstairs. Ultimately, all I have to do is there's no mental processing required in the morning. I just fall out of bed, drag myself out of bed, clean my teeth, and then everything else is there. I don't need to think, oh, what top am I putting on? Oh, my jogging bottom's clean. Oh, where did I put my gym gloves? Oh, have I taken my vitamins? Oh, I've lost my front door key. None of that. That would not be the path of least resistance if I had to get all of those things ready in the morning. When I used to eat before I would go to the gym as well, I used to have like a little bit of porridge. I would put a pan of porridge out in the morning, keep it on the cooker with a wooden spoon in it. I didn't even have to pour it out. Literally everything was done before I went to bed. That's the path of least resistance, right? Some people are like, oh, I want to practice the guitar every day. I'm like, where's your guitar? Like, all right, it's upstairs in the cupboard. I'm like, brilliant, right? So you're absolutely not going to practice the guitar every day when your guitar is upstairs when you probably spend most of the time downstairs. You're going to want to rest. After a long day or whatever, you're going to want to sit in a comfy chair downstairs. You're not going to want to walk upstairs, grab your guitar out the cupboard. What would be the path of least resistance for the guitar would be to set it out in the middle of the floor, like, on a stand, obviously don't fall over it, but in the room where you spend the most time. Then you've got to literally walk past it every day, multiple times. The likelihood of you picking it up is way greater than it being upstairs out of the way. So that's the path of least resistance there. And then when you want to write, like, to casting directors, if you're an actor or whatever, and you're like, oh, that whole task seems so overwhelming, break that down into chunks as well, Like, find their email addresses the day before you compose the email. Don't sit there and go, right, I've got to track them down, find out what they've cast. I've got to compose the email. I've got to send it. Break it down into sections. So you're like, right, I've got the emails. Right, I'm going to do a bit of research on them. I know what they've cast recently. I'm going to compose my email. Now I've composed it. It's 8 o'clock at night. It's inappropriate to send it now. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to send it at 9:30 a.m. That's a more appropriate time to email somebody, etc. Break it down. Make it the path of least resistance. And you can do that with everything in your life. From, like, everything. Your work to, I don't know, date night with your partner. Just everything, ultimately. Brilliant advice, says Dawn. Full of it, Dawn. I like to think this is only because I've done all these things wrong in the past, and I've learned this stuff from other people who've been like, right, Ross, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, this is stuff that I'm implementing in my own life. That's why I'm telling you, I know it works. God, I've sent so many emails at night time, says Gary. Do you know what, Gary? Sometimes it's okay. Other times, I mean, it depends on the person. But I have heard from a few casting directors who have been rudely awoken at 2 a.m. in the morning by an actor who stayed up and decided to hit send at that point. And it's the casting director's fault because they sleep with their phone underneath their pillow and they've kept it on loud. I mean, that's just stupid. But I guess you've got to take into consideration that people will do that by accident, or they'll leave their phone on loud by accident or whatever. And that little bing has like woke them up, and then they've gone, I've been woken up by this, delete. So something just to take into consideration. Yeah, you can schedule your some software for email lets you schedule when you send your email out. You can write it, you can put it as a draft, schedule it, and it will automatically post it the next day for you. Bobby says, literally takes me 5 minutes to get the email, check what they cast, and send my message. I sent 4 in the space of half an hour last Wednesday. Bobby, you're a beast. There you go. Well, that's action for you. Good on you, man. And Sharon's got a spreadsheet of casting directors' email addresses and other contact details. That's really useful as well, so you don't feel overwhelmed. You can chunk it down again and keep a track of who you've contacted. So they're the four, the 4 things that I think people should be doing to be taking more action. Ultimately, just breaking those tasks down into manageable chunks is just going to help you suffocate your excuses, and you're going to take way more action. So to recap, let me just go right to the beginning again for those who joined in the middle. 1, right? We want to reduce distractions ultimately, and that's in our life in general. And then it's the little things like the phone notifications, the little beeps going off on your computer and your phone, your laptop all day, and your iPad or whatever. So the the distractions you can reduce. For me, like I said on that slide there, I was just like, right, you know what? I've hit my limit of productivity. I can't do any more without dropping something in my life or delegating it to somebody else. I decided I was going to drop a Wednesday night broadcast in order to bring you guys more value on actonthis.tv, and actually, rather than do a broadcast, do an interview or a broadcast with a guest. That freed up so much of my time now. Literally, I got hours back this week that I could focus my energy into other more productive stuff. So drop the one thing that's non-essential in your life right now. Just drop it. You know what? Just drop it. If it's not serving you, just drop it. If you're expecting something crazy to happen with it, and you're like, I've just got to hold on to it because what if something good happens with it, but it's not happening in 12 months, drop it. Change it up. Something's got to change. If you're expecting a different result, you're bonkers. So what's the one non-essential thing you could drop? Think about that, and then get rid of all those distractions on your phone, etc. 2, count down from 5, and that's the 5-second rule, effectively. Few people will have missed this, but it's brilliant. Basically, it's from a book called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and she says, listen, if you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. If you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must move physically within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. So the next time you get that urge or that idea, fricking do something about it. Don't allow your brain to kill it for you. 3, make smaller decisions. We've got to break down the big things into smaller things, and also focus on some of those smaller things. Remember, we want to feed our mind, body, and soul on a daily basis with something small. Read a book, go for a run, go to a museum, see an old friend, whatever that is for you. And then 4, walk the path of least resistance. It's ultimately just planning to make shit easier for yourself. Like I say, you want to go to the gym in the morning, get everything ready the night before, so when you wake up, you've got no excuses. Bar, I feel a bit tired. Yes, of course you do. We all feel tired for the first 5 minutes. Get out of bed, have a wee. That's generally my order of things in the morning. Clean my teeth after that. Obviously, wash my hands first before cleaning my teeth. And then, throw my gear on that's already laid out for me. Walk out the door. Job done. Don't have to think where anything is. Don't have to think, I've got to find my pass for the gym or where are my vitamins, all this sort of stuff. Done. It's already done. And ultimately, you're going to end up taking way more action. The law of attraction, right? It's not, if you watch my vlog, it's something I've been buying into more and more. I've not wanted to for 2 or 3 years because I'm all science. I'm so scientific. And then things have happened in my life right now. Oh yeah, I do have to get out of bed first, Wendy, definitely. Things have happened in my life recently. I'm like, God, I could never have figured that out. My brain could never have known how that was going to happen. I just focused on it, put it out there, and it just happened. But the law of attraction can only work, someone told me today, if you implement the law of action too. You can't just think, I want £1 million and go and eat a sandwich. Ultimately, that's never going to happen. So we've all got to take more action than we've taken before. And I want to end on this quote by Thomas Jefferson. He was only the 3rd president of the United States and the 4th father of... Tony, you'll be able to tell us, wasn't he something to do with independence? I think he was a bit of a legend anyway. Probably should have researched him a bit more. But he had this quote. He says, do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. So do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. Tony Rossi, actually Rich Haler's from Birmingham and he's in Miami. Tony, you're the only real American on here. Tell us a bit about Thomas Jefferson. Give us a little history lesson. I know he was the 3rd president. I'm sure he was. And I'm sure he's the forefather of the Bill of Independence or something. I don't know what he did. He did something great anyway. And then Lowry says, it is science, law of attraction. Well, it is, and I've said that before. I've explained it by the science. What I'm talking about here, Lowry, is stuff that science can't explain. So I understand completely how to explain the law of attraction scientifically with parts of your brain, your reticular activating system, and you know, that kind of like biology, effectively. But there's stuff that I'm like... I don't know. Science has not proved definitively. I know we have this whole, kind of theory of vibrations and vibrations attract vibrations and all this sort of stuff. I don't think anyone can measure that stuff exactly and just go, right, there you go, that 100% works. Otherwise, you'd be able to literally guarantee it. But it is a bit crazy. He was a president and the main author of the Declaration of Independence. There you go, knew it. Yes. See, I've at least got the knowledge of a 7-year-old would have in America on history. I might have had to Google. Don't tell my history professors. Tony, mate, I only know a little bit because I went on a game show once and they asked me about the presidents on Mount Rushmore and that sort of stuff. And I'd learnt that in a pub quiz before I went on this game show, and then I actually got the question right about that, and I had £65,000 in the prize fund. And my last question, let's end tonight on this. Let's make Ross feel terrible. Gillian wants to see the breaking things down into manageable chunk slide again. Yes. Do you want that or do you want the slide before it, Gillian? Let us know. And I'm going to give you guys some pop quiz and we're going to see if you would have won the £65,000 that Ross lost. So I went on a game show over here in the UK. It was called In It to Win It with the host Dale Winton, if you all know him over here. And yeah, I basically got my colour of ball got chosen out of the lottery machine, and I was the only one in it. Literally, was only one on winners row, and I put 65 grand into the prize fund. I got 13 questions right, 5 grand apiece, and then it came down to me answering the final question for that 65 grand. That would have ended up being 32.5 because someone else actually got a chance at it and did win. But actually, I didn't get my question right. And the question was this. Let me jump on. I'll jump on camera properly for this. Oh, it was so bad. It wasn't a great night in my life. The question was this: Bridgetown is the capital of which Caribbean island? And it even gave you the options. I'm going to give you 3 options, okay? And the 3 options are... Oh, let me just make sure I've got all 3 options in my head before I actually say anything. Wendy, don't you say anything. Don't. Jamaica, Grenada, or Barbados. Bridgetown, don't Google it. Bridgetown is the capital of which Caribbean island? Jamaica, Grenada, or Barbados? Dawn says no idea. Thank God you're with me, Dawn. Rich has gone for Barbados. Wendy's gone for Barbados. It was freaking Barbados as well. I was there last year, says Wendy. Oh, God. I overthought it. Do you know my reasoning? I totally overthought it. I didn't know. I just had no idea. And I'd heard the song, UB40, Kingston Town. And I thought, oh, Kingston Town. Now, I know that's in Jamaica. But maybe the capital of Jamaica is not Kingston Town. Maybe this is the whole Australia, Sydney, Canberra thing, where we all think it's Sydney is the capital, but it's Canberra. Thought, well, maybe every town in Jamaica is something town. So Kingston Town, Bridgetown. Boom, I'm going for Bridgetown. Just got it wrong. Completely got it wrong. So I lost my, what would have been £32,500, unfortunately. No idea, says Gary, but he just Googled it. And Bobby says Barbados. It was Barbados, yeah. There you go. Kingston is the capital of Jamaica. I know, Wendy. I know that now. I know that now, don't I? Useless to me, Wendy. Don't rub it in. It was all right. I learned a lesson. And then I went on another game show called Golden Balls with Jasper Carrot. And I could have won another 35 grand. And they didn't trust me. The other players didn't trust me to take me through to the final. And then the person who didn't trust me actually got stolen from in the final because you can steal in the game. So it served her right because I would have shared. But yeah, interesting one. Right, guys. So yeah, I hope it's been useful for you. Going to be back next Monday. Monday, 9 p.m. British summertime now it is. Don't forget, the clocks have gone forward now. So yeah, 9 p.m. For next week's going to be book club because we alternate now. Motivation and mind hacks one week. Book club the other week. So the book we're going to do maybe is Mel Robbins' The 5-Second Rule. I'm gonna listen to it on audiobook and see what it's like. And if it's good, then yeah, we'll read it and we'll do it for 2 weeks on air because obviously we're only going to get 2 weeks at a book now per month as opposed to 4. Now we're only alternating every other week. But let me think if you've got let me know if you've got any other suggestions for book club, etc. Don't forget, I'm still looking to pay for your Spotlight subscription if you're an actor or give you 150 quid cash in April. I'm going to be doing a draw. Anyone who's subscribed to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/watchross, youtube.com/watchross. I'm going to do a draw randomly. Anyone who's left a comment on the videos on there, I do a weekly vlog, 1 episode per week, every Monday it comes out. I'm going to draw someone at random and I'm going to give you 150 quid cash. Sandra Rock won last time. Big shout out to you if you're watching. But yeah, do get yourself over. youtube.com/watchross. Great episode just went out this morning. All about vlogging, getting attention on YouTube ultimately, and using that attention for good. If you're an actor, you definitely need more attention. You can get it online. Swear to God, you just got to get your vlog out there. Everyone's got a vlog in them. So yeah, youtube.com/watchross. And I'll end by playing you guys a 60-second clip of it. If no one's got anything else, any other questions before we go, let me know. If not, I will whack on a 60-second clip of today's vlog and let you all be on your way to take freaking action on what you want in your lives. So yeah, let me know if you've got anything. I think the broadcast got a bit of lag tonight, so I think you guys are about 10 seconds behind me. So we'll just give you a few more seconds in case people are not hearing me in real time. A fun night, says Dawn. Happy Easter all. Yeah, happy Easter all. Get your Easter eggs in this week. I've already ate my Easter chocolate that my mum bought me last week. That's gone already. 3 bars of green and blacks. But yeah, don't worry. It's calorie free on a Friday night. Give me your US accent again so I know you need help. I don't have a US accent, Bobby. So my US accent, my US accent. Go to Netflix. Google on Netflix. Don't Google on Netflix, but yeah. go to Netflix and search for Wakfu. It's an animation I did for Netflix in an American accent. I play a guy called Percival, a ginger-haired knight. It's legendary. It's a cartoon, by the way. I'm not actually in it. My voice is in it, though. I voice it. And that'll give you my my US accent, Bobby. I definitely probably will need help with it. Found it and subscribe, says Gillian. Thank you, Gillian. Do watch as well. And every comment you leave on a video, Gillian, is an entry into the prize draw. So if you can't leave hundreds on each episode, but if you leave one comment per episode, there's 23 episodes out now. You've got 23 entries into the draw, effectively. And Bobby was only watching Wakfu last night. Bobby, legend. Right, here's a 60-second clip of my vlog. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Love you all. If I can do anything for you, reach out at Act on This TV, at Ross A. Grant, and I'll see you next Monday for the book club. Until then, bye for now. So this is the guy who inspired me, like I said, to start Watch Ross. So we're shooting at night because we're going to get a special guest on the vlog. But before that, we've got to find the hot. He's called Dodds, and he is a videographer for a guy called Steve Bartlett, who's the CEO of a global social media marketing company called Social Chain. Social Chain. All right, Dodds, it's Ross, mate. Hey, how's it going? Petch, I told you there would be dogs involved. Two of the best looking dogs in the world. Pablo, look how cute you are. Louis, look, I can't handle it. There's quite a few people out here I know are thinking of starting a vlog. Literally had an email 10 minutes before I came in here off a girl called Paula Brett. Shout out to you going, I'm going to start a vlog. It's terrifying, but I'm going to start it. What would you say to anybody who's like, vlogs aren't a thing, they're just extra things? I mean, what's the value of it, and what would you say to anyone who's like starting off?
Never ever stop, because you just don't know how close you are.